I'm Sharon Parker. I'm a Winthrop Professor at the UWA Business School. We started Launch recently to apply to our MBA students and Masters in Business Administration. The purpose of Launch is to really enhance the self-awareness of our students. The students go out of an MBA often into quite high-level careers, and it's really important that they know who they are, they understand their strengths, they also understand some of the areas that they might need to develop in. Part of the thinking behind Launch was, can we design a program where it's a safe, supportive environment to facilitate students obtaining those more practical interpersonal skills.
There was a lot of work around surveys to evaluate and find out a little bit more in depth about ourselves. And then the feedback from that data analysis was fed back to us. So it was more like a bit of an awakening, going, you kind of know that about yourself, but when you see it in writing, you start thinking, okay, I perhaps need to change some of my behaviours.
One of the important features of Launch is that we have a really strong synergy between the research that we do and the teaching that we do in Launch. Our mission is to really build understanding around what is it that makes people really effective in the workplace. So we're able to use some of the information that we gather from the students during the Launch program to progress that research. At the same time, the students get that information from the surveys that they complete to get personalised feedback reports that enable them to get the self-awareness and the insights.
I thought that I felt really safe in Launch, which is very nice. Usually I wouldn't be talking quite openly about my personal self with strangers that I don't know, but at Launch it's quite open and it's non-threatening, and it's a very nice environment to learn.
That we completely underpin all of the principles and all of the topics and all of the very practical learning with a solid evidence base.
When we developed the new resources stream in our full-time MBA, we went to CEOs and asked them what were the skills that they wanted us to include. By far the most important things were negotiation skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills.
As well as the technical material that we cover in class, things like accounting and economics, human resource management, finance, marketing and so on. We think it's also important that our students learn about themselves, and this is a great way to do that.
It does complement beautifully the lectures and the content, which is very much about expanding your head and your ideas and your knowledge, whereas this is very much focused on providing a structured, safe, reflective space to develop yourself as a leader. It's quite practical, so while the MBA program you definitely expand your mind and extend your mind massively. This really gives you tools for daily living.
It's voluntary. Students decide if they want to do Launch. It's not assessed. That means students have an opportunity to focus purely on their development. We have a lot of practical activities that are designed to allow students the opportunity to practice new sorts of behaviour.
When I look at really successful companies and really successful people, they're very collaborative, they understand themselves, and they're continuously improved.
When it comes to actually talking about myself, to actually present about myself to people I don't know very well, I hadn't had that many opportunities to do that, and that was helpful because it's actually fed back to my other presenting skills.
Significant highlights for me is the reflective best self activity. We asked the student to ask 15 to 20 people to tell a story about when they saw that particular student being the best they could possibly be. There was an almost naive surprise that was emanating from every student when they were reading these stories and hadn't realised or even expected that these people thought those things of them. And it was wonderful to actually witness that.
We look in Launch at the whole student. In the field of personal development and growth, there are a lot of people out there running courses on these topics in a way that is completely devoid of research and evidence. We deliberately set out to underpin what we do with really good, solid research and evidence.